Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my weekly training. So, first, I want to say that I'm doing a 4-week group coaching in July. It's going to start somewhere mid and into July, depending on how many people sign up. And then when people sign up, we will decide on what a time that would work best for anybody. But anyways, what the program is called Worthy AF, Worthy as Fuck. And I created this program because, as you guys know, in these trainings, I have been working through a lot of my worthiness wounds. Like, I had done a lot of work with it, but in the last month, it has been showing up and showing up and showing up in a good way, because I'm like, oh my God, now I'm fucking aware of this and I can work through it more. So that's why I created this 4-week Worthy as Fuck group coaching program, because I want to help you become worthy, feel confident, all the things, right? Because it's just like we have these worthiness wounds that are holding us fucking back. It makes us feel like we're not good enough, but really we are. So that's why I created the program. If you have any questions, email me, DM me on Instagram, and we can chat there. So today I want to talk about the difference between knowing something and integrating it into your system, integrating it into your body. Because what happens with me and what happens with my clients a lot, I just had a conversation with a client the other day, and she's like, I know logically, I know this, like it doesn't make sense, but I feel differently, right? So this is why knowing things isn't necessarily always helpful. And this is why I say mindset work is only 20% of it, where body-based work is the other 80%, right? Because it's like, I was just going through this. I had a coaching session with a coach on Friday, and she was like, where do you feel like you're not showing up in your business? Where do you feel like you're not showing yourself in your business? And then she asked me why. And I was like, well, because I feel like people won't buy from me. And I was like, logically, I know that's dumb as fuck. Like, people have bought from me. I know people will buy from me, but I have this feeling, but I feel differently, right? Like, I'm like, oh my God, like, sorry, I got distracted. It's like, oh my God, but I feel differently, right? So it's like knowing something and integrating it and feeling it into your system are two different things, right? I know a lot of things. I know I shouldn't feel this way. We've all been there, right? Where I'm like crying and whatnot, and I'm like, I shouldn't feel this way. Like, this is dumb. I shouldn't feel this, right? Because logically, it doesn't make sense. But in our body, it's like, but there's this wound, like there's this deep core wound that lives inside of our body that makes us feel otherwise. And this is why I love what I do. And this is why I love taking clients through sessions, because it's like we take the knowing and then we integrate it into our body, right? It's like, I know I should feel this way, but I feel differently. So it's like we release all of the old shit, that old feeling that is living inside of you, that not good enough, that worthiness wound, whatever it is that is still living inside of you. I help them work through that and release through that. So then eventually you will start to feel differently, right? But it's like we have all of these old wounds that are living inside of us. And if we don't clear them out, if we don't work at the body, if we don't somatically release them, they're still here, they're still living in us, and they are playing out in our adulthood. And the other really cool thing that I love when I work with clients, because this just happened with one of my clients, she was like, I've been knowing this, but it finally landed. Like, I finally believe it. I finally know that it's true, right? So it's like, this has happened to me before, right? Where it's like, I know logically I should feel differently. I know logically this doesn't make sense, but I feel differently, right? And then I kept going through it. And then one day it's like you wake up and you're like, holy shit, I no longer feel that way. I now feel how I should feel. I now feel how my mind knows that I should feel, right? So it's like knowing something and integrating it and feeling differently is so different. And oh God, I just like love this work. And it's like, every time a client comes to me and they're like, it finally landed. Like, I finally get it. It finally landed. I finally released this thing. And now it is landing for me. Right? So like, I hope this fucking makes sense. And this is like, in the beginning, I talked about my 4-week group coaching, Worthy as Fuck. Like, this is what we're doing in that group coaching. Like, it's like, okay, I know, right? Like, logically, you're like, okay, I know I'm worthy as fuck. I know that I should feel worthy as fuck. But then something comes up and your body's like, oh my God, no, I don't. Like, I don't feel good enough. I don't feel worthy, right? So like in my 4-week group coaching, this is what we're digging into, all about the worthiness wound, worthy as fuck, right? Becoming worthy as fuck. Because it's like when you can get to the root of why you don't feel good enough, and then we can somatically work through that and release it, then you will eventually, slowly but surely, start to feel worthy. You will start to feel worthy as fuck. So I hope this was helpful. I hope this makes sense because my best friend and I talk about this all the time. I know it, but it's not landing in my body. I know it, but I feel differently. Right? So it's like this is why mindset work is only 20%, and then the somatic work is the 80 other percent. So I hope this was helpful. I hope it made sense. And I will see you guys next week for next week's weekly training, and have an amazing day.